Have you ever had the check engine light come on in your car and then maybe you've done what I've done before? You see the light, you ignore the light. Kind of like Penny on Big Bang Theory. The engine light is always on in her car, but she just ignores it because she doesn't have the money to fix it. You convince yourself that everything is probably fine. Hey, the car's still running, right? So what's the problem? Until one day it isn't running. The reality is that most problems, they don't really start as emergencies. They start as warning signs. And leadership is no different. Many school leaders are functioning every day with those warning lights that are flashing. They're exhausted, they're overwhelmed, they're frustrated. But they keep moving because the school day doesn't stop. Today is about slowing down long enough to notice what your leadership dashboard is telling you. Because you can't improve what you haven't identified. And you can't build solutions for problems you have not acknowledged. So today, I'm going to help you work through answering one very important question. Where are you now? So I want you to grab a notebook because I want this to be interactive. This isn't an episode to simply listen to. So if you're in your car, stop it till you get somewhere else. It's an episode that I want you to work through.
The three systems of leadership: leading, learning, logistics. Go the extra mile, motivate, inspire. Go the extra mile, lead, empower. Principles take action. Let's go, fuel your passion. Go the extra mile. Let's go. Principles take action. Motivate, inspire. Go the extra mile. Lead, empower.
Hello, leaders. Welcome back to the Empowered Educator Show. I'm your host, Dr. Mel. Last week, we explored why great leaders build systems instead of relying on willpower, memory, or hard work alone. We discussed how systems reduce decision fatigue, they create consistency, they protect your priorities, they help build your capacity, and they actually just make leadership much more sustainable. And your key takeaway from last week was that effective leadership isn't about doing more. It's about creating those structures and systems that help you focus on what matters the most. Today, I want to help you take that next step by assessing where you are right now, your current reality, so you can identify those areas that need your attention the most. I want you to think about going to the doctor. A good doctor doesn't prescribe treatment before making a diagnosis. Yet that's exactly what many leaders try to do. You hear a new strategy, download another template, you attend another workshop, but you haven't taken the time to identify those real issues. So today I'm going to walk you through a leadership assessment. Not for evaluation, not for judgment. You're the only one who's going to see it. Just for awareness. I want you to honestly reflect on three areas: your leader, your logistics, and your learning. So as we're going through this, I want you to rate yourself 1 to 5. 1 means that you consistently struggle in this area, and 5 means this is currently a strength. And just be honest, because again, this is just for you. No one else is grading this. You're the only one going to see it unless you share it with somebody. The first area is the leader area. So let's start with you, not your staff, not your students, you. Because leadership always begins with guess who? The leader. Here is reflection question number 1. How confident do you feel when you're making difficult decisions? Remember, you're rating yourself 1 to 5. And to help you rate yourself, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Do I second guess decisions after making them? Do I avoid difficult conversations? Do I delay decisions because I don't want to upset people? I want you to hit pause and I want you to write down your thoughts. Reflection question number 2. How clear am I on my priorities? At the end of most weeks, do you feel like you've moved important work forward? Or do you feel like you've spent the week just reacting? Go ahead and rate yourself and then jot down some notes. Reflection question number 3. How sustainable is my current leadership? I want you to be brutally honest here. If you continued leading exactly the way you are today for the next 3 years, would that be sustainable? Would it be healthy? Would you be effective? Or would you be burned out at the end of year 1 or year 2? And I want you to write down 1 or 2 words that describe your current leadership experience. And then make sure that you pause and reflect. What score did you give yourself overall in the leader category? Circle it. Now I want to talk about the operational side of leadership, logistics. This is where many leaders like you feel overwhelmed, not because you're incapable, because nobody taught you how to manage the volume of stuff that's going to be coming at you. So let's assess it. Reflection question number 1. How in control do you feel of your own calendar? And if you just finished your school year, then be reflective about this past year. Do you intentionally plan your week? Or does your week happen to you? We're still rating ourselves 1 to 5, with 1 being I consistently struggle in this area and 5 being this is currently a strength. Reflection question number 2. How effective are your meetings? Think about your staff meetings, your leadership meetings, your data meetings, your committee meetings. Do people leave those meetings with clarity or do they leave with confusion? Go ahead and rate yourself. Reflection question number 3. How organized are your systems? When someone asks for information, are you able to find it quickly? Do you have clear systems for communication? What about observations and follow-up? What about task management? Or are you relying on memory? Rate yourself. Reflection question number 4. How often do I feel overwhelmed? Not occasionally. Everyone has a difficult day, guys. This is consistently. How often do you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water? Write down your answer. Now, I want you to score yourself in the area of logistics and circle it. Now we're going to move on to number 3, which is learning. This is where leadership directly impacts students because instructional leadership matters. We know it does. Let's assess that area. Reflection question number 1. How often am I in classrooms? Not walking through the hallways, peeking in, but actually observing, teaching, and learning. Not going into classrooms and sitting in the back checking your email. You're actually observing and rating, teaching, and learning. You're taking notes, and you're providing real-time feedback. Reflection question number 2. How confident am I in giving instructional feedback? When you leave a classroom, are you able to provide some meaningful coaching around that real-time feedback? Or do you struggle to know what to say? Rate yourself. Reflection question number 3. How connected am I to student learning data? Do you know where your school is succeeding? Do you know where your students are struggling? Do you know what instructional adjustments need to happen? Rate yourself in this area. Reflection question number 4. How effectively am I developing teachers? I want you to think about your influence. Are your teachers growing because of your leadership? Give yourself a 1 through 5. Now, go ahead and add those up and circle it. Now, I want you to look at those 3 scores: your leader score, your logistics score, and your learning score. Which area scored the lowest? That's your biggest opportunity, guys. Not your biggest weakness, your biggest opportunity. I want to challenge something that many leaders believe. You do not need to improve everything at once. And that is so hard. In fact, that's usually what keeps leaders stuck, is when they try to do too many things. Because if everything's important, nothing is important. Remember, progress starts by identifying the one area that will create the greatest impact. I want you to write this sentence in your notebook. If I improved one area over the next 90 days, it would be, and I want you to fill in the blank. Here's your action step. I want you to complete 3 tasks. First, I want you to identify that lowest scoring category. You've already done that. Second, I want you to write down the specific challenge that's creating the most frustration for you. And third, I want you to answer this question. What would success look like 6 months from now? I want you to be very specific. The clearer the destination, the easier it's going to be to build the path to get to that destination. Guys, today wasn't about fixing problems. It was about identifying them, because awareness is the first step toward improvement. We explored 3 critical areas: leader, logistics, learning. And hopefully you gained some clarity about where you are right now. Not where you wish you were, not where others think you should be, where you actually are. And that's a powerful, powerful place to start, guys. Because every effective leader that I know became effective by first being honest about what needed to improve, including myself. The good news is you don't have to figure it out alone. The next step is actually implementing what you've identified. Building some actual solutions for those challenges that you've written down. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing inside the Principal Success Lab. Over the last 2 episodes, you've discovered why systems matter and where your leadership currently stands. But now it's time to get to work and build the solutions. Inside the Principal Success Lab, I'm going to walk alongside you as we tackle the real challenges that you will face every single day. We're going to focus on leadership, organization, instructional excellence, and the practical tools that are going to help you as a building principal lead with greater confidence and way less overwhelm. You can find those episodes for the Principal Success Lab inside my Empowered Educator community, or you can become a premium subscriber to the Empowered Educator show right here. Together, we're going to work through those topics like creating a weekly planning system, managing your time and your priorities, leading effective meetings, conducting meaningful observations, giving impactful feedback, and building trust with your staff, and also preventing leadership burnout before it even begins, guys. If today's episode helped you to identify even one area where you'd like to grow, I encourage you to join us, because leadership isn't meant to be learned in isolation, and you don't have to figure it out all on your own. I've already been there and messed up, done that. So let me help you not do that. The rest of this series will become available in the coming weeks. Here's your power surge for today. I will not ignore the warning lights. I choose awareness over avoidance, and I know where I am. And because I know where I am, I can intentionally grow into the leader that my school needs me to become.
Principles take action.